Hi everyone! I've been growing indeterminate tomatoes for years and I really like the diversity of their colors, shapes and flavors, but dwarf varieties can be just as interesting, especially now that the dwarf tomato project has produced many tomato varieties that are sometimes even better than many of the indeterminate ones. And today I will tell you about my top 5 best tasting dwarf tomatoes. Number 5. Dwarf Chocolate Lightning, striped beauty from the United States. Chocolate Lightning produces beautiful flat round tomatoes with green and gold stripes, a productive sturdy plant with big foliage and strong vines like most dwarfs. It looks very similar to pink Berkeley tie-dye, with the same metallic tones and dark color. The variety showed its high qualities in the taste test as well. Dense, fragrant flesh and a well-balanced tomato flavor. Definitely a very good and tasty variety. So Dwarf Chocolate Lightning tomato deserves its honorable 5th place in this list. And let's move on. Number 4. Big Green Dwarf, an unexpectedly delicious green tomato. Personally, I love green when ripe tomato varieties. And this variety I grew for a reason. First of all, I was interested in comparing it with indeterminate varieties of green tomatoes. The fruits have different shapes. When ripe, they gain a barely noticeable golden tint. Inside, the fruits have an emerald flesh. In terms of taste, I can put it on the same level with the best varieties of green tomatoes, even including indeterminate, such as Grubb's Mystery Green. Big Green Dwarf is at least as good as it tastes, and given its compact structure, it's much easier to grow. The fruits have a very strong tomato flavor. The taste is sweet, with a pleasant sourness. With the flavor of berries, I really like this variety. A great option for those who like green tomatoes and tasty tomatoes in general. Number 3. Dwarf Adelaide Festival, a true work of art from the world of tomatoes. Another great variety from Australia, which has a number of advantages. The plant is easy to grow, the fruits are big and beautiful, the pattern reminds of fireworks sparks, it has a deep dark color inside, and I've covered this in depth in previous reviews, so I'll focus on the flavor. Sweet, harmonious, with a slight and pleasant sourness, and all this despite the fact that the tomatoes began to ripen along with the earliest. Adelaide Festival is one of the best dwarf tomato varieties in terms of combination of productivity, look and taste. Number 2. Dwarf Wild Fred, a small plant with amazingly tasty tomatoes. Tomato about which I heard only positive feedback from gardeners, so I did not doubt for a second whether to grow this variety. The fruits are dark red, pretty, and even though the first season the tomatoes were not large enough, this did not affect my impressions of the Wild Fred tomato. Just look how they look on the cut. Dense, bright, cherry-colored flesh, strong tomato flavor with a berry aftertaste. I really like the taste of Wild Fred and might have called it the most delicious tomato I've ever tasted if it weren't for one but. And that but I'll tell you about right now. And number 1. The one and only Dwarf Ulru Ochre. Once you grow this variety, it's impossible to refuse it. A tomato of stunning and unique color. The word ochre in its name obviously appeared for this reason. It's a tomato that really strikes the imagination. Both the look of the fruit and an unforgettable taste. Very juicy, with a powerful tomato flavor. And I consider it top 1 among all tomato varieties that I have ever grown. So this year I'm planting a total of 10 Ulru Ochre tomato plants. You can agree that it's pretty tough to give that much room to one variety when you're growing 150 different varieties at once during the same year. But I have my own reasons for that. Ulru Ochre is number 1 in my list of the most delicious dwarf tomatoes. And I should note that all of these dwarf varieties were bred by Patrina Nuske-Small from Australia and Craig LaHollier from North Carolina, USA. These people, as well as other volunteers, have done and continue to do a great job as part of the Dwarf Tomato Project, so that we can enjoy a huge variety of beautiful dwarf tomatoes. This season I also decided to increase the number of dwarf varieties in my garden. This time there will be about 45, and I'll be sure to tell you about each one, so don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss the reviews of these and other varieties. Thanks for watching, this is the Lucky Garden channel, and see you soon!